No
Dude,
hat. I was only wearing a hat because my hair was so long.
What
finally
they
got
hit
cut.
they hit you with the fade.
It's not really a fade. It's just shorter on the sides, but
From this angle, it looks like a fade. It's the light hitting your
the
sun.
glare.
You know
Yeah,
what's funny?
no.
Wait, Matt. The sun is coming from the same spot at both of our locations. How
To the
cool
right?
is that? We're thousands of miles away, yet the sun shines on us just the same.
I'm gonna change my microphone. Is my mic working?
Yeah.
Is it better now?
It honestly isn't that much different.
Okay. Well, what's up, everybody? Let's get started. Tuohey, do you want to start or shall I?
Yeah. I'll start. Listen, you can add on to the little I'm going to say today. We got some okay. I'm not gonna lie. Like 30 minutes ago, Matt and I are like, just don't know if there's a lot out there right now. It doesn't feel great, but we'll say the more we kind of started looking at open, right? It looks like it wants to bounce. Now, to me, that's not the real exciting part, though. Open, I think, it could be a good trade, especially if we do get that dip. The problem is, I don't think it goes to 5 today. I think you kind of have to risk $4. It's at 430 right now. I think realistically, this thing needs a dip to at least 415. And then maybe it's a dip by risking 4. And then maybe there's a pop to 450, 460. Could be a good trade. I think really where the opportunity lies is within OPAD. So OPAD is it's basically a competitor to Open. It's a sympathy to Open. The day that Open went crazy, OPAD goes crazy, tests its breakout level. Breakout level is $5, roughly like 490s. At that high, OPAD held up a lot better than Open did. It also has a much more monstrous chart where I think, this is something that if it breaks out, Matt's saying he thinks like 6, 7. I think you go to 10. That volume is nutty up near 5. So I like that a lot as a potential watch. It's definitely, it's not a breakout right now. And I don't know if today is the breakout day, but I still think it could give a nice move today. And definitely something I want to keep an eye on. Because I do think there's probably a trade on it today. I just don't think today's probably the breakout day. Ideally, I think over the weekend, Friday into Tuesday, we got Labor Day weekend. That would be just sweet, especially if Open stays strong. LGHL, want to pop that up real quick. Nice pre-market gapper, up 50%. It's honestly the cleanest looking pre-market gapper. I know CWD is higher, and this just looks better. Plain and simple, and I can see, I'm looking at the chart right now, and I can see a few different zones, I guess that I'd say, that just acted just like I'd expect to. It broke out of that little consolidation base at 230, just like it should have. Did a little high a day break, kind of a fake high a day break, and it's just acting normal. It's not acting super trappy right now, although very low float. It is a China stock, so it's not something I want to get super aggressive on. But if we set up for a nice dip and rip, or we just honestly, on something like this, I would love to just see it consolidate for 10 minutes out of the open. Not really pop, not really drop, just consolidate near pre-market highs. And then there might be a trade there. Matt, if you want to add to any of those or go over your other 2 stocks that I have a lot less to say about, go for it.
Yeah, I think Open and OPAD are my top ones here. Out of the Open, I agree with what Bryce said. I don't think today's the day they break out. I think today could be a transition day where maybe we get a little pop, maybe break out again in the afternoon. That'd be great. Potential swing tomorrow through Labor Day weekend. That would be A+ for me. Out of the 2, I think OPAD's my favorite. Again, it's just a smaller company. It's trading great volume. And yeah, Open is just getting so much spotlight, and it's huge. If we get back up to 5, it's a $4 billion company. It's just a massive company. It's just going to move slower. Doesn't mean it can't run. It's just going to move slower. I think OPAD's the one that, is kind of picking up some momentum. This chart, in my opinion, is better. And if we do break out, again, Bryce was saying how high this could go. Big if. But if it does and this breaks out, this definitely, in my opinion, could run much further than Open does, just because of the size of the company. So definitely watching it today. Feels like yesterday, especially on Open, was kind of especially at the end of the day here. Like people panicked out, max selling. So to me, that feels like we're going to start to transition. We might then get a pop here and hopefully a trend. I don't think this is like, big A+ home run trade out of the gates. But if it sets up the way I'm envisioning, then yeah, we're going to talk about this thing again tomorrow. And hopefully it sets up for that big trade tomorrow. CWD was one Bryce didn't talk about. It is the top gapper here today. It's only up 77%, so nothing huge. I was talking with the stocks trade traders yesterday and just, heading into Labor Day weekend, stock markets closed on Monday. Like people go on vacation. So volume might be a little slower or lighter today, tomorrow as a result. And I think we're seeing that a little bit because, well, there's just less runners out there, day one runners. So this one, we'll see. I can't really get a read on it. It's a Link token treasury. Link's not a bad crypto, but we haven't really seen a crypto treasury run in a hot minute. Plus, this tried to run like 3 weeks ago and did nothing. So not super optimistic about that one. And then IVVD, again, not my favorite, but interesting. I think it was Steve Cohen, I believe. It was 0.72. Yeah, Cohen. He bought shares of this. That's what this 13G SEC filing is. So always interesting when like a big billionaire buys a small company. Interesting potential daily chart. I just don't think the chart looks the best, but the catalyst is pretty strong. So again, if we get over maybe like 112, 115, then yeah, I think this could potentially run solid. This dip is what really is scaring me off yesterday. And then you can see the pop when that SEC filing was filed. So we'll see. Kind of a back burner watch for me. I think Open and OPAD are going to be my main two. Both, though, I feel like I almost have to risk on Open yesterday's low. There's some, after-hour pre-market support, but yesterday's low had the most volume. So what I would prefer more than anything is just that little dip out of the gate before we run. That would get me excited. That's when I would take the trade. And pretty much the same notes for OPAD. OPAD's a little better, but kind of waiting and seeing. Those are definitely my two out of the gate. I want to give my daily shout out to Wick Tickler, though. Bryce, I want you to read it.
Apparently laying on the closet floor wearing nothing but cowboy boots and spooning yesterday's love stream replay is a red flag. I start marriage counseling Monday. You gotta bring your wife onto the stream, Wick Tickler. I gotta hear her side of the story. We will be your marriage counselors.
Yeah, exactly. We'll do a therapy session on Monday. We'll save you some money. It'll be free.
I can't promise it'll be effective, but
Derek says 77% is nothing huge. Yeah, look, keeping that in perspective, it is a big move, but when the market's hot, we'll have 5 stocks that are up like 100% in one day.
It's also relative too, right? Like, because everyone from 2012 to 2018, your big gapper was like 50%, but that's because the SPY moved it just went sideways. Like we're also just in a market, and we're in a bull market. We're in we'll see, I guess, with interest rates, but when the market is this volatile, it's just natural to have more volatile gappers too. Also, I have another stock that I forgot. Listen, it's a blast from the past, and by past I mean 2 weeks ago. I know you guys miss me talking about NEG, so I'm going to talk about NEG real quick because I don't think it's not an A+ bounce day, but this is down about $60 to $70 off of highs. It's down from 140, actually more, 140 down to 60. The only thing I really don't love about it is yesterday it tried to do a first green day and failed. And that, if it didn't do that, I would be like, this is the one today. I will say, I believe they've got earnings I think it was supposed to be now. I'm not seeing anything. So it's not an A+, but I am going to be keeping my eye on it. I might talk about it if I think a trade presents itself on it. I do think it's overdue for a bounce at some point. It's just that morning action yesterday kind of sucks, to be completely honest with you. So just something to keep on the radar.
I like Derek. We've got a solid base here. Derek says, "Where's 9 to 5? Is he clocked in at Subway?" Gonna make the stream this morning.
He couldn't figure out how to open the door out of his mom's basement. He must have locked himself in. I've done that a time or two, so I know what it's like. Okay.
Exactly.
My girlfriend yesterday heard us talking about the short bus yesterday, and she was like, "What were you guys? Weren't you supposed to be talking about trading?" I was like, "No,
you guys understand. It's a key part of the strategy.
it's how I trade first screen days."
Oh, yeah, that's what I got here. That's all, folks. Let us know. We got 5 minutes. If there are any tickers you're curious about, I think I got the main ones. And obviously, we will talk about Trade Funder again at the end. So just quick shout out to them. That's how you get that funded account. $100,000 in buying power is no joke. So take a look. That link's there. And we'll answer any questions about it at the end. But definitely a big advantage, especially for those that keep hopping on, showing up every day. To not only learn, maybe see some potential trades, but then actually be able to take action on them.
Well, and too, I mean, the stocks we're watching today, right? Open, slower mover, Neg, bigger company. These are definitely stocks for like a bigger account. Just it's beneficial to be able to trade these. So, yeah, I mean, open trying to bounce a little bit here. Shab says, "I have a question. Pick me. Ask your question." I got to see the question first. Seeing some questions like RR, maybe. I don't know. It's just it's okay. It's like a first red day. I know is what you're kind of asking for.
I don't mind it. It's up there for me.
It would need to have a pop, a little bit of a pop. That line that matched through the glass wall, that's kind of, I think, a good area. It's just a matter of can it get there.
Yeah.
Shab says, "Where do you guys find news? Are there specific social media accounts?" I can't speak for Matt, although I think I can because I know the way Matt trades too. I just use stocks to trade. They've got both, like, so on the bottom side of your screen right there, if you're looking at Matt's screen right now, you'll literally see it says live news right there. And then there's also a chat within stocks to trade that's a breaking news chat. So yeah. Yep. User 1001011011010. I wanted to read out the whole thing. STT has breaking news. Yeah. There's a whole breaking news thing on there.
Marcel says, "How long did it take for you guys to be profitable?" Probably last question here before the open. Yeah, I mean, for me, it was probably 18 months to 2 years. And, I will say, like, especially that first year or so, like, I probably didn't put in the time that I should have. Like, it was like really motivated for a little bit, take a break, really, like, half in, half out. And I probably could have done it faster if I took it more seriously during that time. But how it panned out, yeah, 18 months to 2 years, I finally started to make money. And it was small too. Like, I had a small account. I think my first year of profitability would be 2019. And over the course of the whole year, I think I made close to 40 grand. And to be clear, like 90% of it, I think, was like the last 3 months of 2019.
I was born profitable. No, same. It took me probably slightly longer, like from when I started, but that's because I took a really long break. I started learning end of 2017, and I studied for like 3 months, and that's when I consider myself where I started trading. And then I took a break basically to the end of 2018, and from there is probably like 14 to 18 months, somewhere in there. But
between Short Bus Tuohey and Minuteman Monaco, or Matt, could you beat Tim Bowen in a wrestling match? Honestly, it'd be kind of tough. Tim Bowen
he's jacked.
Well, not only jacked, he's a little lower center of gravity, if you know what I'm saying. So I feel like he could tie up Tuohey's legs pretty quick, and then we'd be in some trouble.
I know. I don't think wrestling I could do a whole lot, if I'm being honest. I would need to get like really good positioning. I could use that leverage, but
that's what I'm saying. Bowen would get low there to the ground, and we would have a tough time.
Yeah. We love you, Tim.
All right, we're open.
We're open.
Let's see what we do.
OPAD, I'd probably consider a little starter through pre-market highs at 280. Oh, neg. I thought you were going to try to bounce, and instead you just go down. Why? Speaking of why, WAI, I saw a couple of questions about that. Gapping up. It's like a 20-cent stock. Not going to lie to you guys. I hate that. I'm just going to be really blunt. I hate that. I'm not looking to trade that.
Open push out of the gate, but already a bit of a fail. So one thing we didn't talk about, I'm not going to trade it, is just Nvidia. Nvidia reported earnings, basically went sideways, but big push here out of the gate. So that's good for the overall market.
Oof, neck, just bleeding. Golly gee.
All right, Open. Let's see how you hold our dips here. That's going to be the telling sign, I think.
Yeah, I would. I'd love to see this near that like 415 support area to take a starter. That would be. That'd be great. Great.
CWD, a bit of a rip out of the gate too. Look, we only have one runner today, so wouldn't be surprised if that one runner goes. You know, think of it as like a collective money pot. There's thousands of traders. If they only got one stock to trade, they're probably all going to flood to that one.
Yep. RR is trying to pop, getting towards that 320 level.
RR. Yeah, they had news. They have a big ATM. So.
And ATM, by the way, again, for those of you guys that don't know what it stands for, it basically stands for what it sounds like. They can just pull money out of the market. They can sell up to like $100 million worth of shares,
which is a lot, but not huge for, you know, a company that size.
Right. Ooh, open, dipping.
Yeah, let's see how this dip holds, huh? Because OPAD is not dipping, which is interesting.
No, OPAD, zero dipolation there.
Dipolation.
Well, you know, you gotta have some fun with the terminology.
Is that a verb?
That's more of an acronym. No, not wrong. If you can't tell, I didn't finish college. Adverb. That's what I was thinking.
Open so far, trying to hold that dip, which is good. Kind of exactly what I was looking for. I did not want to straight up spike because I knew I was going to not chase that. So maybe we can get basically what my arrows show, right? Like a little chop sideways, maybe form a style dip and rip trade. That's what would get me excited. OPAD did fail that little pop too. But again, OPAD pretty much just follows open. So you kind of got to watch open more than anything.
Yep. It took a little starter on the open dip, but not much size. I'd like to see this really hold sideways a bit better. Again, the problem is like, it's not that it's a problem. It's actually down here, I think, decent risk level. Like I said, I was really looking for that 415 area, but still got to risk like $4. So I'd love to be able to move my risk level up to today's low a day and then be able to take a trade like that.
Yeah, open still doing the little chop around.
I don't think this will just like easily. I would be very surprised if that 412 low is just the low.
CWD looks like a failure spike so far.
A turd sandwich.
RR pretty strong.
Very strong. Yeah. SSR is on it also. So, anyone who's attacking short early, probably they're trying to squeeze them out here.
Not bad, open, not bad. Trying. This is my dip and rip of the day. Focused.
I mean, at this point, there's probably a slight case to be made where if it just starts breaking over 426 for a small position there.
Yeah.
I wish that that dip to like 412 had more volume. I wish that was like a pretty clear low indication, but OPAD, wow, right back. That is the only problem with OPAD is like the wicks on that thing are strange.
Yeah. But so far, good dip, good hold.
Yeah,
I like it.
I do too.
All right, open. Let's see if you can hold this low. I might buy over 425, like you were kind of saying at this point.
Yeah, I like that area now. That area is starting to look better. At least should be decent for a starter.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, getting ready to buy some open. I think over. I might wait 426. And I just have to risk today's lows.
Big bidder on RR now. They're just slowly taking them out. All right, open. Can you do it? Can you do it? Not yet. OPAD, nice.
Come on, open. Well, I'm a little more. I'm just more confident in that 426 level where I want to buy.
Yep.
As long as this dip holds. Is Nvidia going finally? I love this daily chart, by the way. It's just it needs some reason to run.
Oh, that isn't wow. Oh, that's a beautiful chart.
Yeah. It's been like that for like a month. It just like has it just won't run.
Dude, I used to make a lot of money on charts like that. The problem now is just like, I mean, there's not as many multi-day runners. So like those types of charts I find don't give as much follow through, but like those types of charts are phenomenal. Whew, boy, it's cold out here in Colorado finally. Whew. OPAD. Oh,
Whoa,
my.
hey, big dog. Maybe that's a good omen for open.
Maybe.
OPAD's taking the lead.
Yeah, it is.
Nice, OPAD.
Yeah, that's really nice. Unfortunately, I don't know. I don't know if the sympathy helps the main runner all that much, but I guess time will tell. This we got this level here forming on open now, 425. Still keeping an eye on it. Oh, yuck.
Trying to keep her down. Like I said, if this low holds, I'm just that much more confident in that 426 buy.
Thar bouncing today. Nice bounce.
Yeah, not bad. This is this day with the 8K where it just slammed. I mean, good for screen day. Honestly, I did not pay attention to it because that offering 8K day was so strange.
Yeah, no, I'm with you. I don't think that's. I don't think I would have wanted to trade that today, but actually, no, I didn't. I popped that off my chart this morning. I was a little freaked out by that 8K day.
Open, open, open. You look like you're doing everything you can to test this low.
Yeah. Yeah, it does. I will say if it can hold this here and then recurl through, I'm that much more confident. But it's it certainly doesn't look like it wants to hold that low right now.
No, it does not look like it wants to. Man, I want to trade.
That's a bummer. Yeah, that's just a bummer.
What else we got? RR floating around. OPAD was the nice pop of the day, which is surprising given Open's weakness.
Yeah, I would agree with you there.
I guess the student has become the master.
Open.
I would not say that looks good, but OPAD don't care.
OPAD literally could care less.
Which is so strange to me.
Open, is that just a fake? Oh my gosh, OPAD 440. Wow. Nice move.
Look, that's the one, man. I'm gonna have to watch that all day.
Yeah, that's officially on radar now. As like top contender of the day. Dude, this is what I expected the move to do like all day today. Like, that's pretty crazy.
Nah, OPAD's got the chart, man.
That's got the juice. The juice caboose.
BC says not strange at all, money shift. Well, honestly, it is strange because the literal only reason OPAD is running is open. That's it. There's no other reason for OPAD to run. So it's just interesting to see the separation between the two because, well, the leader's weak and OPAD's strong. But, excuse me, I like it. Give me a...
And you do see that sometimes too, like where the sympathy separates from the leader. But like this one kind of makes a little bit of sense just because the chart is so strong. It's just such a strong daily chart. But like the fact that it's like looks like it wants to break out now while open's breaking down, that is pretty impressive.
Yeah. No, I'm not saying open's dead, but definitely not. Like I said, I think under 4 here is kind of where we're like, oh,
yep,
maybe this is a goner, but obviously not a great start there. CWD, another pop and drop. If this gets over 330, that also could be in play. OPAD, at this point for the rest of the day, I'm pretty much hoping for a dip to 4. And open, nice little bounce back.
Oh, yeah. Open, nice. Did not stop out yet. As I said, I'm looking at that $4 area for my risk. So, well, I haven't gotten to add yet. And the problem now, it's not a problem, but like now if I'm going to try to add through 425, I don't really get to risk that much less. Like I still kind of have to risk $4 basically, 406 for what that's worth. But like, I wish it could have set a low at like, I wish it could have double bottomed, but whatever. Beggars can't be choosers. Am I right? Or am I right? Let me know.
I guess you're right.
Thanks, Matt.
I didn't have another choice. All right, nice. For those of you watching the first green day, I mean, pretty textbook. Pop into red green, kind of failure.
First red day for those of you guys who are new.
Did I say first green day?
Yeah. I want to make it's not. I'm not trying to be a jerk to you, Matt. There are just some people who don't speak your language.
Time. Yeah, it happens.
But yeah, no, nice failure there. That's exactly, and I mean, we briefly mentioned it before the stream, but like for those of you guys looking for that first red day, that 320 area, I mean, it went a little higher, 330, but right kind of into that yesterday's resistance, and we'll see if that follow through maintains. Thar, nice. I'm keeping a close eye on Thar. This is it held VWAP. It had that little fake VWAP breakdown. I am what you would say a fan, an air conditioner maybe, but it's one of my favorite jokes. Open, I'm not gonna lie to you. If we start breaking under this last low, I'm not feeling all that confident.
Yeah.
It's really like it's kind of do or die there for me. It's got to hold.
SPY and Nvidia both got a little weak.
Yeah, Nvidia, did they their earnings yesterday weren't good, right?
I think they were good. Wall Street just didn't love them.
Oh,
You know, they beat on stuff. I think they slightly lowered their like forecast or something.
right. Okay.
Yeah.
Wall Street just they love that stock too much.
Nvidia's got
good earnings are bad to Wall Street. Nvidia's got to have blowout earnings.
Yeah. Basically what's priced into that stock.
Right.
They're close to a $5 trillion company, dude.
Oh my God. Dude, I remember. So I remember it must have been back in 2018, I think, if I remember right. And I was working an internship. And this was like right when I was kind of, like I was trading a little bit. I was more just like learning to trade. And history was made that summer because I think it was when Apple crossed $1 trillion market cap for the first time.
Yeah, I remember.
And then that same summer, like Tesla was starting to go crazy, and then Elon was like smoking a joint on Joe Rogan, and then he was like, "Yeah, we're gonna buy the company. We're gonna take the company private at $4.20 a share." Everyone was like, "Dude, what is going on?" That was a crazy summer. That was a fun summer to be introduced to the market. And now here we are, 7 years later, and there's a near $5 trillion company. That's pretty crazy. That the biggest company ever increased 5x in just 7 years.
Insane, dude.
Insane.
Open good catch there at lows.
Yeah, open. I like that. That's good looking action.
See, we're clearly in a downtrend, so I need to get a perk. Prove to me you're holding an uptrend now.
I am officially going to move my stop to that low a day now.
I feel like you gotta give it one more test.
To be fair, I did say out of the open that my my risk level's $4. I never got to add yet, so I mean, I was kind of preemptive.
I think if it gives us that uptrend, we're both looking for, you could move your risk up.
Yeah, no, you're right. You're right.
But if it doesn't, just keeps going down, well, so be it, I guess.
So it be. Singing words of wisdom. Let it be.
And it's trying. It's doing its
We're trying to let it be. We're trying to let it be. We're trying to let it sing its words of wisdom. Wall Street bets. Wall Street bets. Save this stock. Dude, oh God, I really don't want to trade Thar, but it looks so good.
So you want to trade it?
No, it's like, oh man, it's like when you see a nice big old fat piece of cheesecake and you're like, I shouldn't eat it, but man, like it looks tasty. Yeah, I guess that means I do want to trade it. I just know I shouldn't. Maybe it's the other way around. The problem is I'll be back in just a moment.
Okay. Open tight downtrend. I think it is getting close to that moment of truth there. Under lows, I definitely feel less optimistic about a trade today. But OPAT is still strong. Open's trying for dear life to hold on. Come on, Open. What we got here in the chat? Thar Wedgie. It is, honestly, over $6-ish. That thing looks pretty juicy. Speaking words of wisdom, Bryce, every now and then, he says 100 things, probably like 2 of them, he'll drop some knowledge. You just got to filter through it, It's the Bryce filter. Come on, Open. You want to try. I don't want to buy it down here. I would rather, good pop. I would rather, I think, wait, let it retest, and get that next dip or that next break just for that extra confirmation. But that is nice. Good hold. Dip and rips looking good. What do I think about HKPD? Let's take a look. HKPD. Just not much volume there today. What's this? This trade did last week, right? Yeah. I think if it pops, you're running straight up into like a brick wall up here, or the glass wall, as we like to say. There we go. Open. Beautiful hold. Patience paying. Someone's bringing up neg. Yeah, Bryce talked about neg. Look, it's just not a trade for me. This will have a really strong bounce / first green day when the trade comes. I just don't think it's today. It's already red, obviously. Very nice open over VWAP. Let's see what this next dip does. That's going to be telling to me. Mr. Stock says, how strict is your trade rule about not taking trade under VWAP? Did you track it and your dad told you it was? Didn't per se track it like back test, but I can tell you from my trades, buying stocks below VWAP just for me doesn't work. Again, if a stock's strong, it's going to be over VWAP, right? And you might be able to get a better entry under VWAP, but in my experience, it's usually just better to wait for the moment where you're like, I know I'm right at this point, which is kind of what I'm trying to do here on Open. Wait for that moment where I know I'm right before I click that buy, because obviously we got this big downtrend. We also have low a day. We just broke above it. If you're aggressive, yeah, you could have bought probably like 412, 413. For me, though, I've been pretty much watching this 426 level. And I just want some confirmation that we're just not going to keep downtrending the entire day, because I don't think we're completely out of the downtrend yet. We're not out of that downtrend until we're over 426, in my opinion. AQB, I did just see that pop up. What's this doing? Hey. Open, nice perk again. I like it. AQB could be interesting. My focus is on open, but not bad. We're going to watch that pretty closely. Thar over 6. Yeah, see? That was the trade. Again, I'm fine missing that. It's not really my style, but Bryce is going to be mad when he gets back. Beauty. Beauty over 6. Beautiful squeeze. Here we go. Open. A now. Thar. Gorgeous. All right, open just pretty much went up, exactly tested that 426. So let's see what happens now. Larry says, is Oracle telling you to buy over 426? I haven't checked. For me, though, that is, again, that level that once we get over it, confirms to me that we're at least trying to trend upwards. I want to ride that wave. See Thar, Bryce? Beauty.
I could have told you that was going to happen.
I know,
I had to go to the bathroom. I could have told you that because I had to go to the bathroom, everything was going to work perfectly. Son of a gun. I am annoyed. But you know what? it's better to be annoyed than to be
red.
Yeah, red. Sure. Not that I would have been red on that, but yeah, red.
Open. Oh boy, we're gearing.
Well, I guess I'm gonna have to add because this is looking nice.
They want to know, Bryce, number 1 or number 2? That was way too fast for number 2. Let's be honest.
Really? You think so?
That was.
I'll
speedy.
take that as a compliment.
That was speedy. Bryce was my roommate in college. We're talking 45 minutes, man. It was a whole thing. He'd light a candle. He'd get his little fluffy rug, his newspaper. Maybe if I leave and get another coffee, Open's going to go. What do you think?
All right.
Yeah.
Hey, listen. I mean, one of us has got to take the sacrifice, you know?
Thar, man. I probably should take that, but oh well.
Yeah, you're telling me, man. Did you take any open on that trend break, or you're gone? Oh, just me. All right. Well, I'm just gonna be waiting here. Open that 426 level. I mean, clearly the key level at this point. And I'm not sure if Matt kind of explained a little bit there, but much, much, much more confident in that level now, because we started with a fake low of day break. So we had that breakdown a low a day, which likely trapped a lot of shorts. I mean, you'll see the candle that broke low a day traded almost 3 million shares on that breakdown candle, which means you probably got a lot of longs that were in the trade early, selling their position, a lot of shorts hammering down through lows. And then we kind of not instantly, but we recovered. We didn't break down underneath that, which now means that my thinking is kind of like thinking the inverse, right? If we break over 426, those shorts that were attacking lows are probably going to have to start covering. And the longs that sold earlier, and they're like, oh, I was right. I mean, think how many times, you've been in that position yourself where it's like you get out of the trade just a little bit too early because it doesn't look good. And then as soon as you get out of it, the trade starts to work again. If you have the opportunity to, what do? You buy again. And so that 426 level is where I would expect that to start happening.
Well said.
Thank you. They do call me Wisdomus. My friends actually call me Plato, but
do they?
You know what they say? The modern day Plato walks around in a Terry Black's hat. Which, by the way, I saw someone earlier talking about Terry Black's. And then I just now realized it's probably because I'm wearing Terry Black's hat. But
Open wants it.
Oh, yes. Open the doors.
Open sesame.
Willa Freyu says, I try not to chase the stock at new highs. Yeah, I get what you're saying. But I mean, if you're talking about open, the thing is, like, you kind of have to put the big picture in perspective, right? New highs would really be like $6 on the bigger picture time frame. This really is like bouncing off of support on a bigger picture time frame. So if you're really zoomed in, sure, right? If you're just looking at the 1 day, the intraday, the 1 minute chart, yeah, I guess you could say it's new highs. But yeah, bigger picture, I mean, I think this still has a bunch of room to run. I'm also not, you trade however you're comfortable trading. This is my style. This is Matt's style. Open.
I bought.
I did too. My new average is 419.
Yeah.
No, yeah, this is nice. Someone was saying, do you have a price target for open today? Woohoo! I'd love to see this like 450. Like nothing. I don't need to get too aggressive on this. To be fair, this could break out today. And that's not what I mean. This could go back to like 5 today is what I meant to say. Do I think that's going to happen? Probably not, but anything's possible.
Yeah. Again, I think 426 was a really good entry, but I don't think we're out of the woods yet. I think we're out of the woods over the high, which is
438.
Yeah,
Or 437.
that's where I think the magic really starts happening. But this is some big volume. Obviously, shorts getting a little squeezed.
Well, you know what's funny too? I was just talking about that fake low day break, a lot of volume. If you look at the volume that just came in on that candle, it was almost identical to that fake breakdown candle. So, I mean, not saying that's a 1-for-1 that every single person who sold there is now buying here, but it matches up pretty well, that idea.
Yeah, OPAD, nice. Nice too. I haven't bought any OPAD. I might wait till this afternoon, but I definitely like this stock a lot. This is very close to the breakout. You know, again, if I take off extended hours, we are knocking on this breakout's door. So watch this one closely.
Open 2 has SSR on it, so that could help the case for a pop now that shorts are kind of trapped. You know, if they want to try to start adding back in, they have to be adding in really to strength.
Yeah. Also keep in mind, Open's a huge stock. It's going to be a slow mover probably the entire day. It's not going to go straight up.
Hence why on a day like today, when this is the kind of stock we're looking at, Trade Funder is like a phenomenal option because while it might not be the biggest percent runner from a risk reward perspective, great opportunity. And I mean, pretty predictable range as well. I mean, it's cool that you guys get to see this, right? Because like me and Matt are sitting here walking you through kind of the entire plan. We've been talking about that 426 level for 30 minutes. And I mean, Matt was even going a little farther with like, you know, that low day break isn't really concerning yet, where a lot of folks probably would have been concerned there. Because that just like wasn't really a key level. The key level is a lot closer to 4. So you guys get to see those plans kind of getting made and actually taking action on those plans too. So learn from it. Yeah.
All right. Well, let's talk about Trade Funder. Open, I do think the stop for me is at least still low a day until we confirm otherwise. But I think this is going to be a trade that I'm going to try to hold as long as possible. We'll see what it can do for me. Bryce, intro Trade Funder. What is it? Why are we here?
Well, we are here doing this because me and Matt are part of Stocks to Trade, which, listen, I'm just going to say it. If you're watching us, you're on Stocks to Trade YouTube channel, so you've probably heard of Stocks to Trade before. If you haven't, we're a trading education company, and we actually, and trading software, as we were saying, we get our breaking news from the Stocks to Trade platform. But our job is to help traders find success in the market. Matt and I have come up through this community ourselves. Matt, you've been using Stocks to Trade since 2018?
I think so, 2018.
Yeah. So, I mean, a long time here, and that's why we're here. But this partnership with Trade Funder is actually, or Trade Funder is partnered with Stocks to Trade. So we get to trade live with you guys, show you our process. And what Trade Funder is hoping for is to find profitable traders because they're a fully funded trading account, right? So with that fully funded trading account, they actually get a profit split as well. So let me explain that really quick, what this all entails. Sorry, I'm like watching Open here. I'll just try to let that thing do its thing. I'll let it cook. We're just at high a day. But no, yeah, if you scroll down a little bit, Trade Funder is a way to get access to a $25,000 account and $100,000 of buying power that can not be all put into one trade, but can be spread out. This is just a great, again, I say this every day, and I will not stop saying it until the day I die. I just wish that when I first started trading, that this was something I had access to. It didn't exist. I had to get started with a $2,000 account. I could only take 3 trades a week, and it sucked. It sucked because like when you can only take 3 trades a week, like that's if you have, you know, if you're not really serious about trading yet, that's fine. But if you're trying to get this thing figured out, man, it's just so much easier when you can take as many trades as you want, learn what you're doing right, learn what you're doing wrong, and ideally make money along the way. Anyways, so Open's breaking highs. I can't multitask here.
Short bus is waiting, Bryce. Look, I say this all the time. Bryce kind of alluded to it. If you need a trading account. It's not if. If you want to trade, you need a trading account. It's not really up for discussion. And there's two paths forward. You can choose what's best for you. I do think Trade Funder is a great opportunity for everybody to get started because it allows you to be a real trader. You don't have to deal with the pattern day trader rule. You can focus on your best opportunities and you can just trade. All right. You can get started with very minimal risk here because instead of having to go open an account normally to get over the pattern day trader rule, you have to put in $25,000. That's not the case with Trade Funder. Since they're partnered with T3, what they will do is they'll give you a funded trading account where you can go out there, you can trade stocks, and all you have to invest, if you will, to get started is this $800. That is your funding, if you will, that you're putting up, because Trade Funder is not just going to give you an account for free, right? They want you to have some skin in the game because they want you to take it seriously. And with that, with $800, you can get started with that trading account. There's a small platform fee as well to use their platform, but there's a website version, a version you can download. There's a mobile app. They give you a lot of options to really help you get started trading. And then from there, as you continue to make profits, Bryce was talking about the profit split. You know, where Trade Funder, what they're looking to see, and this is the prop industry is a huge industry. It's just, it really was not available to normal traders for the longest time. Now it is. This is for stocks, the first one I've ever seen. And I think it's a game changer because since they're funding your account, what they're going to do is they're going to take about 20% of your profits out there. And that's how they are looking to succeed and make money. You know, the platform fee for them, really what that pays for is access to data, access to information, which a lot of traders don't have. And as a result, a lot of times they're either late, miss trades. And with Trade Funder, you get around all of that. Now, it should be said, I don't know if Gene's here. I'm going to keep using Gene as a new example. Gene got started with this account. And the best way to think about it is this is your starter account. He had a lot of success. And he now is using a $100,000 account, he said, with Trade Funder because he's had that success. They've given him more money. And that's Trade Funder's long-term goal. You know, if they can get dozens or ideally hundreds of successful traders, well, obviously they're going to give you more money to trade with. You can continue to have success. You make more money. They make more money. You know, that is the dream scenario here. Now, trading does, as you know, require risk, time, and effort. But one of the cool things about Trade Funder here is even though you're only putting in $800, they're going to give you a little extra buffer on those losses to be able to help make sure you have the time needed to start seeing that success. We talked about the daily loss limit. I think it's a fantastic rule. Sometimes trades just don't work in your favor. And what they do is if you lose $1,000 in one day, they're just going to put you in a little timeout. They're going to say, hey, look, you're done for the day. Come back tomorrow. And then there's the max end of day drawdown. This is when they actually decide, hey, look, you know, you're not having success. We're going to close your account down. And you have to lose $3,750 for that to happen, which if you do the math, it's like 4 or 5 times more money than you put in. They're willing to bet on that because they know that if they find those successful traders, a couple of small accounts that maybe lose money, they're making much, much more on the backside. So I think it's perfect for new traders getting started, but also for anyone who just really doesn't want to risk their own money. It's emotional, right? If you take a loss, it's frustrating. Trade Funder kind of takes that all away. And that is why, honestly, the prop industry is so big and why so many people love just trading with prop firms. Like I know, not necessarily with Trade Funder, but in the prop industry, there's a lot of traders out there that are incredibly successful that make $1 million months because they have access to more capital. They have access to better tools and technology. And as a result, they get really good trades and they worked really hard for that. That's something that, the sky really is the limit here with Trade Funder. So we've dropped the link there in the chat for everybody. All right, to be able to take a look at. Go over and click it and review it. See if it's a good fit for you. I know some of you have used Trade Funder. Tom, I'm going to look into your question for you. I don't necessarily know the answer off the top of my head, man, but I'll reach out. You can also reach out to support if you want, and they should be able to help you. But with Trade Funder, one of the cool things is, once you hit their profit, right? So it's $1,250, $1,250. You can start withdrawing your profits here. And, well, this is a long-term thing. This isn't like, hey, let's go make some get-rich-quick money. That's not what they're looking for. They're looking for traders that have success, consistent success for months, for years, and then continue to see that success. That is their personal goal. And, I mean, it's a win-win. When your broker, your prop account is on the same page as you, that's a recipe for success.
Bo says it perfect. They force you to be consistent.
Yes, exactly. And
Okay,
Like,
yeah,
oh no, I'm forced to be a good trader. Like, yeah. So that's all I got to say.
yeah.
Tuohey, what do you got? Any last comments here on Trade Funder?
No, listen, I mean, at the very end of the day, do whatever works for you. But at the very least, check out the link and see if it's a good fit. We both say it every time. You know, it's not going to be for everybody. But I think for traders that fall into either one, the camp of you don't really have enough money to take active trades, you're under the pattern day trading rule, you're frustrated that you're not able to take enough trades, I think it's worth checking out. For traders that feel like they're there, like they've got the right knowledge, the right education, but the fact that you're trading with your own money makes it a little bit more emotional. I think that's like honestly one of the best traders to go check this out as well. Or traders who, you know what, like, I don't know, maybe you've got $5,000 and you've got enough, like it's a good size account, but you're still under the PDT and you still want to be able to take trades in that account. You can just take some of that, put it into Trade Funder. Now you got 2 accounts to trade with. Again, click the link and see if it's for you. That's at the very end of the day.
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah. And, you know, I was just going to say, like, again, the best traders, it's not like they make all their money in a week or a day or a month, right? You look at great traders out there, obviously in the stock trade community, me, Bryce, Kyle, Williams, Jack Kellogg, all of those traders, right? They are consistent month after month after month after month, you know, and yes, they've made millions of dollars, but it wasn't in one trade. It wasn't 1 month, right? They've done that over years and it just continues to build. So my advice, especially to new traders, is, hey, like this is something that you can do for years. You can do for decades. And you want that consistency. You want it as soon as possible because then that consistency keeps compounding and compounding and compounding. And once you get that bigger account, that's where the real gains really start happening. It's just simple math. You know, a 10% gain on $1,000 account's $100, but a 10% gain on a $100,000 account is $10,000, right? That money gets big very, very quickly. All right. Sweet. Well, that link's in the chat. I'm going to drop it again. I'm going to encourage everyone to go take a look at it. If I were to get started over again, I'd use Trade Funder. Again, I do have a Trade Funder account because, well, if someone's going to give me more money to trade with, I'm not going to say no, right? That's kind of how I look at it. And as usual, all right, your homework is to go click that link. But we're going to quickly end on our top watch for the rest of the day. I like doing that. Tuohey, I'll let you get started here. What do we got?
Listen, I mean, it's going to be open/OPAD. Without it, I mean, OPAD right now even is looking nice. I think the stronger open is, and we're holding near that high a day. That's good. The stronger open stays, the better for OPAD, in my opinion. OPAD's breaking out over high day as we speak. Do I think open breaks out today? Absolutely not. Could it? Sure. But I would like to see this base in the 450s, 460s, and see if this can really offer a great trade even into tomorrow as well. So open and OPAD, I think is going to be where it's at. I hope that they can kind of go sideways throughout the afternoon or throughout the midday to offer a really good afternoon trade personally.
That's my hope as well. You know, we got started on open. I think open looks great. It got over that level. It's consolidating. I think open, as we've talked about several times, probably doesn't break out today. It's got a lot of work to do. But if we can grind to the high 4s, awesome. OPAD is trying to basically break out as we're talking, which is crazy. So I think OPAD's probably the better one for that breakout. As I said earlier, I think this one probably can go higher. I want to watch this one very closely. And again, for me to really get excited, I'm going to need this to go sideways. It's very early in the day. We've got hours left. Consolidate, break 450 maybe around like 1 or 2 p.m. Eastern time. A+ for me. That's really what I'm excited for.
100%. I like this segment. This is a fun segment that we do here.
Yeah. And I'm going back to Trade Funder. If you're missing these trades, you feel frustrated, you have a small account, Trade Funder can solve most of those problems. So go take a look. Get started. Let's have some fun.
Yes.
All right, everybody.
Some trade fun.
We'll be back tomorrow, as always. Appreciate you guys hopping on, and we'll chat soon.
We'll see you tomorrow, guys. Peace.